This is Prabha Verma here with my next video of class 10th on the topic applications of quadratic equations in word problems. Now you have already done questions of applications of linear equation in word problem. Now the difference between word problems of linear equations and quadratic equations is that in linear equations you were using two variables x and y, and since you had two unknowns you were given two conditions in every question of linear equations. From that you used to get two equations and solve them. Now since here we are dealing with quadratic equations and quadratic equation involves only one variable, so thus here we will be using only one variable to form the equation, and obviously you will be given only one condition in this. Generally you will be given one condition in this. At times you can be given two conditions also. So coming down to my first question over here, the question says if the sum of two natural numbers is 8 and their product is 15, find the numbers. So here I have given you two things. One is that you are given that the sum of two natural numbers is 8 and their product is 15. So I take let first number equal to x. Now it says that the sum of the two numbers is 8. It means that I add the first number plus the second number. So I get this. First number plus the second number gives me the sum as 8. The first number I have taken as x. So my second number equal to 8. So I get my second number as 8 minus x. This is all rough work. The condition given was first plus second number is given as 8. I've taken my first number as x. I put it over here, so I get my second number as 8 minus x. Now using the second condition, their product is given as 15. So first number into the second number gives me 15. I open the brackets, I get 8x minus x square. I bring this 15 to this side, minus 15 equal to 0. I rewrite this in the standard form. So I get minus x square plus 8x minus 15 equal to 0. I multiply the whole equation by minus sign. So I get x square minus 8x plus 15 equal to 0. I multiplied it by a minus sign just to make this x square positive. There is no other reason for that. Now I solve it by splitting the middle term. So I get x square minus 3x minus 5x plus 15 equal to 0. I get x minus 3 minus 5, x minus 3 equal to 0. So now I get x minus 3, x minus 5 equal to 0. Right? Now I take the first bracket. So the first bracket equal to 0 gives me x equal to 3. And the second bracket x minus 5 equal to 0 gives me x equal to 5. Now the most important thing in quadratic equations is you have to write the final answer. So what is your final answer now? So when first number x equal to 3, second becomes 8 minus x, that is 8 minus 3 equal to 5. Second number equal to x equal to 5. The next is case 2. This is case 1. This is case 2. So the case 1 is when first number is x equal to 3. I get my second number as 5. Case 2 is first number equal to 5. So my second number becomes 8 minus x, that is 8 minus 5 equal to 3. So therefore the numbers are 3 and 5. This condition which I have shown over here, I have shown two cases over here. Both these cases have to be shown and justified. This carries marks. Coming down to the next question over here now. The next question says that find two consecutive even positive integers, the sum of whose squares is 100. Now before I come down to this particular question, when I talk about consecutive numbers, it means the numbers coming one after the other. If I just use the term as consecutive, if I just say consecutive without adding even or odd, the numbers will be x and x plus 1. If I just say there are two consecutive numbers without speaking about even or odd, the two consecutive numbers will be x and x plus 1. But when I speak about odd or I speak about even, the numbers become x and x plus 2. If I take an example over here, suppose I talk about consecutive numbers. Suppose I say my first number is 1. Now when I say about consecutive number, after 1 what does come? It comes as 2. So when I add plus 1, I get my next number. Coming down to even numbers, my first even number is 2 and the next even number is 4. So when I add 2 in this 2, I get 4. Similarly, my first, if you start with your odd numbers, if I suppose say 3 is an odd number, I put x as 3, the next odd number is 5. So when you're just talking about consecutive numbers, you're talking about x and x plus 1. When you're talking about in particular even and odd, you're talking about x and x plus 2. So in this question, now you're given two consecutive even positive integers. So I'll take let the numbers be two consecutive even numbers. I take them as x and x plus 2. So I've used the first line, I've taken them as x plus 2. Next it says I've taken the two numbers x and x plus 2. Now it says the sum of whose squares is 100. What it means is this. That means the sum of whose squares becomes x square plus x plus 2 whole square equal to 100. The square of the first number plus the whole square of the second number is given as 100. I open this bracket, so I get x square plus 4x plus 4 equal to 100. I get 2x square plus 4x. I bring this 100 to this side, it becomes minus 100. Minus 100 and plus 4 gives me minus 96 equal to 0. I reduce this further because this entire equation is divisible by 2. It is better you divide it wherever it is possible so that your calculations reduce. So when I divide this whole equation by 2, I get x square plus 2x minus 48 equal to 0. Now I start splitting the middle term. So I'll get x square plus 8x minus 6x minus 48 equal to 0. This becomes x into x plus 8 minus 6 into x plus 8 equal to 0. So I get them as x minus 6, x plus 8 equal to 0. So that implies x minus 6 equal to 0. So x becomes 6 and x plus 8 equal to 0. I get x equal to minus 8. Now over here I have got the answer as minus 8. The question started off with two positive even integers. Here I have consecutive integers. Here I have got a negative number. So over here you will have to write, since x is positive, therefore we reject x equal to minus 8. This particular step that I've written over here, that since x is given as positive, we reject x equal to minus 8 carries marks. You just cannot overlook the step and move on to the next value. In the same way, if you're given questions of length, breadth and all these things, when you're solving a question of length or the sides of a triangle or the sides of a square or rectangle, etc., when after solving those kind of quadratic equations, you end up getting one of the sides as negative, we reject them also, because the sides of a triangle, a rectangle, a square cannot be negative. So there also you will have to justify your answer that since the side of a triangle, rectangle or a square cannot be negative, hence we reject that negative value. Same goes for questions on ages. When you're talking about age of a person, even you cannot get the age of a person as negative. In case on solving a quadratic equation, you're getting any one value as negative, you reject the negative value on the same grounds. The same applies for the question on speed and time. So all these things where you're getting negative value and it is not possible or acceptable, you have to specify it why you are rejecting. So all questions of quadratic equation, you will always be getting two answers. You have to justify the acceptance of both the answers, or you have to justify why you're rejecting one of the answers. This step, particular step of acceptance or rejection of any one answer, carries marks in the board exam. You just cannot leave your answer over here, x equal to 6 and x equal to -8. This question is counted as incomplete and marks will be deducted for it. You have to further on justify both answers of yours. So first I've justified this answer, x equal to -8. It says, I've written very clearly over here, since x is positive, we reject x equal to -8. Now I come down to case 2, when x equal to 6. Therefore, second number equal to x plus 2, that is equal to 6 plus 2, and that is equal to 8. Therefore, the two numbers are 6 and 8. This is the final answer. This is the final answer where you have to specify this last step which I have shown over here. This is important. I repeat again, you just cannot split the middle term and leave out your answer at this stage. Because the question did not ask you the values of x. The question asked you to find the two numbers. So your answer should end with what the two numbers was. And yes, as I just now said, you have to justify your acceptance of both the answers or the reason for rejecting any one of the answers. I think these two questions have made it very clear regarding the application of quadratic equation in real life situations. Now, if I give you a question on the sides of a right angle triangle, suppose, in that triangle, suppose I give you the length of 2 sides out of the 3 sides and I ask you to find out the sides. In that case, you will have to draw a figure. You'll have to draw a figure of a right angle triangle, and then you will apply the Pythagoras theorem in that triangle to get a quadratic equation. So any question involving a right angle triangle, you draw the figure, you take whatever side is given as x, apply the condition in the next side, and then you get a quadratic equation by applying the Pythagoras theorem in that particular triangle. Otherwise, you're not going to get a quadratic equation. I hope it's very clear. Thank you.